After working with hundreds of women, I've discovered that week 3 of any diet separates the women who actually lose weight from the ones who just talk about it. And honestly, most women would rather make excuses than face the truth about why they're not losing weight. Because after sometimes dropping 5 pounds in that first week, and maybe even 3 pounds in the next, once their scale stalls, or even shoots back up during the dreaded week 3, they throw their hands up in the air exclaiming, "What's the point?" And my week 3 of losing my last 10 pounds in 10 weeks is no different than any of their journeys. Because after losing 1.2 pounds in week 1 and 1.44 pounds in week 2, my scale decided to humble me with a 0.21 pound loss this week. But in this video, I'll show you exactly why what's the point of all of this work, I might as well just give up moment, can turn into a huge breakthrough for your fat loss journey. And once you understand this, that could be the difference between you reaching your goals or giving up like 95% of people do. If you're a woman over 40 struggling with inconsistent weight loss, keep watching because I'm about to show you exactly why week 3 looked like a failure, but how it actually set me up for success. Let's start this week's update talking about the elephant in the room, that disappointing 0.21 pound loss. After 2 solid weeks of progress, seeing my weekly average barely budge felt like a slap in the face, especially since my scale teased me early in the week, dropping to what looked like it might hit a new low of 156 pounds. But then Friday happened. And this is where most women make their biggest mistake. They see one bad week, freak out that what they're doing isn't working, and then completely overhaul their plan. They research which diet helps you lose weight even faster and increase cardio intensity like they're running back to carbs after 3 weeks of complete sugar restriction. Or worse, they quit altogether. But here's what I've learned after losing 50 pounds while other women my age are still making the same mistakes. Weight loss is never linear, and most people are too impatient to succeed. Even though my scale was being stubborn, my habits remained on point. This week I averaged 1,971 calories for the week, which was actually better than week 2's average of 2,052 calories. My movement also stayed consistent at 14,850 steps per day. So why didn't my scale cooperate? 2 words that will trigger every if it fits your macros coach out there: regular cheese. Thursday night, I had regular mozzarella cheese with dinner instead of my usual raw dairy replacement, and my body reminded me exactly why I avoid it. Because bam, I went up half a pound overnight. And before you come for me in the comments saying a calorie is a calorie, your body doesn't read nutrition labels. Then Friday, I made the classic mistake of thinking, since I have low calories going into dinner, that I could splurge on honey sesame chicken instead of my usual string bean option. And there goes another 1.5 pound spike overnight. But here's what separates successful women from serial dieters. I knew none of this was actual fat gain because I actually understand my body. And when you start paying attention to how your body feels during weight loss, you'll even start to feel the difference. Because at the same time my scale was going up, I could feel my fingers turn into sausages stuffed into tiny little casings. And it was like my face was trying to outdo the puffer fish that we saw in our last visit to the aquarium. But my calories remained in check, my protein was on target, and my movement was consistent. So that, combined with all of the usual signs of water retention, I knew I wasn't gaining fat. Not to mention, it's nearly impossible to gain 2 pounds of fat in only 2 days, because that means eating an extra 7,000 calories on top of the 5,000 or so calories I need to eat over 2 days just to maintain my weight. And I definitely didn't get an extra 7,000 calories in an order of honey sesame chicken and 2 ounces of mozzarella cheese. So I didn't panic. But comment below if you are one of those women who panics every time the scale goes up, because my video deserves that boost since I'm about to save you years of frustration. Since I didn't freak out and vow to start over because my scale had a bad attitude last week, my body actually surprised me with a nice reward at the beginning of week 4, which we'll get back to in a minute. But first, now that you understand why even small weekly drops should be celebrated if you want consistent results, let's talk about what I'm doing to keep my progress moving along. Today I'll show you exactly what I ate on Monday to hit 150 grams of protein under 2,000 calories, because this is the foundation that keeps me on track even when my scale throws a tantrum. And even if 2,000 calories is too high for you to achieve your fat loss goals, you can still use the same basic structure of these meals. Just keep the protein and pull back a little on some of the carbs and fats. This week, I decided to switch things up from my normal protein shake, cutting the ingredients in half. Even though a full shake was what I need to make it through my 90-minute full body workouts, now that I'm only lifting 20 minutes a day, the full shake was leaving me bloated and full during my workout. And making simple adjustments like that makes it easy to keep making progress on your fat loss plan. I took time to listen to the feedback my body was giving and adjusted accordingly. After my workout, which I'll break down in a minute, I had what I called second breakfast, which consisted of half a grilled turkey and cheese sandwich with a bowl of mixed berries. And then I followed that up by my usual low-calorie coffee shake and vitamins, which brought my morning total to 458 calories with 49 grams of protein. This week, I continued my 20-minute daily workouts since I really love the results I'm getting. Plus, it helps my body recover faster, which is important when you add more stressors, like being in a calorie deficit to lose fat. And this workout routine is proof that you don't need to spend hours in the gym. This week, I did shoulder presses at the bar, followed by chest presses under the bar. And yes, it is crucial for women to work their chest muscles, something most female trainers won't tell you because they're too busy selling you booty workouts that turn you into another Kardashian clone. If you're not ready for shoulder presses or chest presses with a bar, you can still make these 20-minute workouts work for you by using dumbbells instead. You'll want to do the same basic movements, but use the heaviest dumbbells you can get away with for 8 to 10 reps while still keeping good form, which if you're just starting out may even only be 5 or 10 pounds. The point is to lift heavy for where you're currently at and increase as each week goes on. If you want to understand how I pace my workouts to make 2 exercises a day really effective, even just in 20 minutes, be sure to watch last week's update video since I break it all down. Once I'm done with my 20 minutes of strength training, I move on to a new addition to my workout routine, sit cardio, which is also called sprint interval training. This works way better than the hour-long intense cardio sessions that are mostly wasting your time and probably making you fatter. I choose to do my sit workout on the Stairmaster, which I do have an entire video coming out on how to add this to your workout routine. It's been a helpful way to give my body that extra push it needs to burn more fat during my fat loss phase. Here's a quick synopsis of how it goes. I start on the Stairmaster with a 2-minute warm-up at level 4. Then I spend 30 to 45 seconds working hard somewhere between levels 12 to 16, followed by 2 minutes of recovery at level 4, and I repeat this cycle for 20 minutes. Then I finish my workout with a boost of moderate activity, walking 20 to 60 minutes on the treadmill. This workout combo focuses on building muscle while burning fat, exactly what you need for sustainable results. Let's get back to how I eat for fat loss since that's where 90% of your results will come from. We already talked about breakfast and second breakfast, so now let's break down my low-calorie, high-protein lunch and dinner. It's important to have at least a few low-calorie, high-protein recipes you enjoy on hand so you never have to sit down and figure out what will fit into your macros on the spot. For lunch, I made my barbecue chicken pizza using a low-calorie tortilla, 5 ounces of pre-cooked diced chicken, a tablespoon of barbecue sauce, 1 ounce of cheese, and diced red onions. This comes in at 446 calories with 56 grams of protein. My afternoon snack was simple but strategic, an ounce of cheese with an apple. Sure, I could have had 2 rice cakes for the same calories, and every flexible dieting coach would tell you that it doesn't really matter. But those same coaches are also telling you to spend an hour every day on the elliptical, which was a strategy that I used for decades. And no, it didn't work. But if you do want this fat loss thing to work, you have to make the smarter choice as often as you can, which means the more real food, the better. Drop an apple in the comments if you choose real food more often over processed junk, or a crying emoji if you still believe you'll feel just as full on rice cakes as you would an apple. Dinner is my go-to beef nachos, but portion controlled for fat loss with 1 ounce of chips, 1 ounce of cheese, 6 ounces of 93% lean beef, plenty of veggies, and an ounce of sour cream. This entire plate is only 634 calories with 57 grams of protein. If that's more calories than you usually eat for dinner, it's easy to thin this out by using less chips, less cheese, or even skip the sour cream. Keep the protein in the veggies since these keep you fuller longer on less calories. Since I was already close to 170 grams of protein and feeling full, tonight I just had one rice cake s'more for dessert, bringing my total to 1,810 calories with 170 grams of protein. Even though my weight loss seems minuscule, and it's the spot where most women would just throw their hands up in the air and completely give up, here's where the magic happened in week 3. Instead of panicking about my slow week 3 results, I just kept going. I didn't throw out my plan, I didn't punish myself with hours of intense cardio, and I didn't slash my calories. I was patient, and I trusted the plan that's already been working so far. And here's your spoiler alert for next week. By Tuesday morning, my scale finally hit that new low I wanted of 156.2 pounds, which is a number I haven't seen since August. And by Thursday, an unexpected surprise of 155.8 pounds. All because I didn't let one frustrating week completely derail my journey. This is exactly why daily weigh-ins are so powerful. When I saw my weight spike after that restaurant meal, I wasn't devastated because I understood that it was just water retention. Plus, watching the scale spike up in real time helped me course correct by ordering a salad instead of a burger on Saturday night, and I was rewarded with a 1.5 pound drop overnight for that decision. The women who actually keep the weight off aren't the ones with perfect weeks. They're the ones who don't make excuses when things get hard, which is why women who clicked off the video before learning this important lesson won't ever make it past week 4. My week 3 holds an important lesson all of us can benefit from. Consistency beats perfection every time. Even when you feel stuck, even when the scale isn't cooperating, all you have to do is make a slight course correction and just keep going. I'll be back next week with my week 4 results, showing you exactly how trusting the process paid off on my quest to drop my last 10 pounds. In the meantime, if you want to see how this entire journey started, check out last week's video where I break down my week 2 results and the exact meals that got me there. Remember, the scale might lie to you for a week or two every now and then, but it can't lie to you forever, as long as you stay consistent with the habits that work.